These Notion shortcuts will save you hours in Notion. Have you found yourself using Notion almost only with your mouse when navigating it or changing things, and by doing that wasting countless hours? By the end of this video, that inefficient hustle is gone. I will exactly show you how to navigate Notion lightning fast, cut down on clicks, and turn hours of wasted time into productive minutes. And don't get me wrong, I also use my mouse, because you also need it. But there is a lot of stuff that is doable with your keyboard in a much faster and efficient way. So by doing that, I'm way faster than I used to be in Notion. And it's not luck, it's a repeatable system anyone can copy. But to master it, I had to do things most people simply aren't willing to do. I spent time diving deep into what is possible with shortcuts in Notion, writing out shortcuts, experimenting with shortcuts, being slow for some time to dial them in, and even messing things up. After hours of researching, learning, and experimenting, I found the best shortcuts I use on a regular basis. Trust me, what I'm about to teach might change how you work in Notion forever. To teach you everything, I will break down this video into different chapters. Every chapter contains one or more shortcuts. And sometimes the shortcuts from one chapter build on a previous chapter, so make sure to stick till the end. And at the end, there is also a bonus shortcut that will elevate your workflow in Notion even more. For those who don't know me, my name is Leon and I'm excited to guide you through this. Let's get started. In the first chapter, I want to show you the most basic shortcut, but in my opinion, a very powerful one, even though it's just one symbol. If you want to change, for example, this text into a heading, clicking on the 6 dots and then turn into, and then, for example, a heading 3 takes a lot of time. Luckily, there is a way faster way. Just type / and you get the same menu. And then you can select the block you want to create. For example, I can select the button, or I can write button and then select it with my mouse or pressing enter. I could also do the same for the heading. I can click on the heading, or I can then write heading 3 or H3. And for some blocks, there is an even faster way than this. Like for example, for all the headings. Of course, with some blocks, you need to go this way because you can't, but there is one problem. When I converted this into an H3, we had an empty block. Now, if there is text and then you write / and H3, you will create an H3 as a new block and you don't turn it into an H3 as we did it previously. But there is also a way to convert this block into an H3 even though there is text in it. But that's something I want to show you at the end of this video. And that's it for chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter number 2. In this chapter, I want to show you 3 basic shortcuts that also apply to literally all the other applications. If you know them, you can skip this chapter, otherwise bear with me. The first one is Command and C to copy something. I could, for example, highlight this and then press Command C. Then the second one is Command V to paste the text in a block. So now if I press Command V, we have the copied text in the next block. So with these 2 shortcuts, we can copy something and paste it. The last shortcut, the third one, is Command X. Now if I highlight this and press Command X, I will copy it and remove it from a block. So I not only copy it, but I also delete it in this block, which is in some use cases pretty convenient because I don't need to copy it and then delete it on top. I can do it with one shortcut. And that's it for chapter number 2. Let's move on to chapter number 3. In this chapter, I want to show you something I already did in the previous chapter, but I didn't tell you. And that's how to quickly select text. What we can do if we go behind this O. If I press Shift and then the left arrow key, I can select the O of the last word. And that goes for every character. So for example, numbers, symbols, or letters. The next thing we could do is we could add option to it. So we can press Option, Shift, and then the left arrow key. So by bringing Option into the mix, we can select a whole word. But there are also two more shortcuts that can select even more, even faster. By the way, you can also deselect something with the right arrow key. If I press, for example, Shift and then the right arrow key, I can deselect character by character. If I, for example, let's say I select two words and I press Option, Shift, and then the right arrow key, I can deselect a whole word. And for the first one, if I, for example, select one word and I press the arrow key up or down, I can quickly highlight a row. So if I press Shift and up, I can select up to the same position here, but in the upper or lower row. That's something I also want to show you. Now, what we can also do is we can, instead of pressing Option, press Command. And if I press Command, Shift, and then the left arrow key, I can select a whole line. And then if I also want to select the line above, I can just simply press Shift and then the top arrow key, or if I want to deselect it, the down arrow key. But there is also a faster way to quickly select the whole block. By just pressing Escape, you can select a whole block. And this is the fastest way to ever select a block. And that's it for chapter number 3. Let's move on to chapter number 4. In this chapter, I want to show you different lists. Let's, for example, go for the basic bullet list. You can just write minus and then space, and that creates a bullet list. Then by typing 1 and then a dot and then space, you can create a numbered list. And by writing open square bracket and close square bracket and then press space, you can quickly create a to-do list. The toggle list is being created by simply writing bigger than and then space. And by doing this, you can create a toggle list and you can also close it then. What you can also do for lists is you can move in. So you can tap in to create a hierarchy, like you can see on the left here. I can write, for example, first create a list, then write item 1, then I can go in the new row, move in and write item 1.1, go into the next row, tap in again and write item 1.1.1. So you can see the first hierarchy step is normal numbers, then we have letters, and then you have Roman numerals for the third hierarchy step. If I would tap in once more, we would start with the normal numbers again. So it's a repeating cycle of 3 elements. For toggle lists, there is something special. If I create a toggle list and then go into the body and then create another toggle list, I can collapse the list. So if I collapse the top toggle, everything in it vanishes. So I need to open it to access the other toggle. And that's it for chapter number 4. Let's move on to chapter number 5. In this chapter, I want to show you how to create headings even faster than in the first chapter. What you can do, for example, for heading 1 is just write hashtag and then space. That creates a heading 1. Then what you can do for heading 2 is write 2 hashtags. That creates a heading 2. And for heading 3, as you might have guessed, just write hashtag, 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 and that creates a heading 3. So you don't have to write and then H3. You can just write hashtag or hashtag, hashtag, or 3 hashtags, depending on what heading you want to create. And that's it for this chapter. Let's move on to chapter number 6. In this chapter, I want to show you how to quickly change the aesthetic of a text. For example, if you want to turn this into a bold text, just select the text as I showed you with Command Shift and then the left arrow key, and then just select Command and B. And as you can also see on top of here, when I do this with my keyboard, this text now turns into a bold text. For italic, you just need to press Command I, and you will turn this into an italic text. To underline a text, you just need to write Command and U. That creates an underlined text. If you want to strike through a text, just press Command Shift and S, and you will strike through the text. But honestly, I never used it. Now, if you want to change text to code, just select it and press Command E, and you will get the text as a code format. Then if you want to change a text to an equation, just select it and press Command Shift and E. And then in this, additionally, you need to press Enter. If you want to change the color of a text, just select it and then press Command Shift and H. But there is one thing. By doing that, it's only possible to select the last used color. For example, if I used blue text as my last color, I can apply blue text to it. There is no such thing as selecting something and then turn it into green on purpose or red on purpose. It's only possible to select the last used color. And the last thing that we can do is we can turn text into a hyperlink. Just select the text and then press Command K. And by doing this, you can create a hyperlink. And that's it for this chapter. Let's move on to the next chapter. In chapter number 7, I want to talk with you about mentioning. You can mention a date, a person, or a page just by writing add and then a date, a person, or a page. Let's do this. Write add, and then the first option is always today, so write add today. Then we can write add and then my name. And now let's mention this page. Just write add chapter 7 test page build. And by doing this, we can mention the page. And the good thing if you mention a page is it won't show up in your sidebar. So just write add and then either a date, a person, or a page. And that's it for chapter number 7. Let's move on to chapter number 8. In this chapter, I want to show you how to quickly get a link from a page. Because normally you need to click in the page, click on the 3 dots, and then click on copy link. But there is a faster way to do this. Just go into the page and press Command Option and L. And as you can see here, we copied the page link. Then go into this empty block and press Command V. And by doing that, as you can see here, we successfully pasted the link to this page in the second block. Or we can do it in line. Under here, I can go, for example, to this page. Then I can highlight page and this, press Command K to turn this into a hyperlink, and then press Command V to paste in our link that we copied for this page. Press Enter, and now we have a hyperlink for the words this and page that consists the link to this page. So if we click this, we should be guided to this page. And that's the case. And that's it for chapter number 8. Let's move on to chapter number 9. In chapter number 9, I want to show you how to work best with tabs in Notion. In this chapter, I want to show you how to work best with tabs in the Notion desktop app. As you can see on the top, I have a tab for the page I'm in and for every page down here. Now, to quickly add all of them to the top, just hold Command and then press on every page in here. And as you can see, by doing that, we now have all the pages on top of here, all as its own tab. So there is no need to press plus and then search for this page. Just hold Command and select the page you want to launch in a new tab. Now do that for every page, maybe even pause this video. What I can do is I can, for example, if I want to, this is my 4th tab. If I want to jump to the 4th tab, I can just hold Command and then press 4. and this will get me to the 4th tab. And if I press Command 1, I will navigate to the first one. But that is only possible if you have up to 9 tabs open. If you have more, in my case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tabs. You can only do this for Command 1 up to 8. So if I press Command 2, I get to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, and so on. And this is my 8th tab. If I now press Command 9, Notion will open my last tab. But there is another way to navigate the bar. What I can do is I can press Command Option, and then I can navigate with my arrow keys. Now let's say I am in my 5th tab and I want to get to the 10th. So the second last one. What I don't need to do is I don't need to press Command Option and then the arrow keys to get here. What I can just do is I can combine these two. I can press Command 9 because I know this will get me to the last one. And then I can press Command Option and arrow key left to get to the second last one. What you can also do is launch pages in tabs that you don't have accessible here without clicking the plus with your mouse. Just hold Command and T. This will open a page in a new tab, and then you can select a page. For example, this chapter 9 test page from over here, and then I will get a new tab. What you can also do is you can change a page displayed in the tab. For example, let's say I don't want to have chapter 9 test page built here. I want to have the chapter 9 test page here without the build. What I can do is I can press Command P and then select the other page. So I don't need to quit this and open another tab. I can just change it. And that's it for chapter number 9. Let's move on to the next chapter. In this chapter, I want to show you what I promised you in the first chapter. What I want to do is I want to turn this into a heading 1 without writing slash at the end and create a heading 1 in the next block. What you can do is at the end of this block, just write space, then slash, then write into, and then you can either select heading 1 with your mouse, you can do it with your arrow keys, or you can just write H1, for example, and then you can turn this into an H1. For colors, there is an even faster way. Just write space, slash, and then you can write green and select it. And to save even more time, watch this video on relations and rollups, which is a really powerful feature that will save you a lot of time. And that's it. Stay consistent.